Hello, we have another physics tutorial today. This time we're going to look at Newton's laws of motion. And so we're going to do 3 different problems involving Newton's second law. So we're starting with Moops pushing a 2 kilogram box with a force of 20 newtons. Moops is helping pushing in the same direction, and we're trying to find the acceleration of the box. So my first step in any problem is to identify what I know. So I know we have 2 kilograms. I know we have 20 newtons. We have 30 newtons. We have what is the acceleration? That's my question mark. And we have 10 newtons. So the kilograms, if you recall, kilograms is a mass, and newtons is a force. And we have 3 newtons, so we have 3 forces. Newton's second law says F equals ma. I know I'm going to use this one because I have a bunch of F's, an m and an a. The m is pretty easy to see. It's going to go right there. The a is my question mark. It's going to go there. But I have 3 F's that I have to deal with. So to handle that, if I think of this box, and I'm going to take a look. Moops is pushing it 20 newtons. And Moops is helping in pushing it in the same direction 30. So that is going the same direction 30. And then there is 10 newtons of friction, and if you recall, friction acts in the opposite direction as the motion. So that goes on this side. So the 20 and the 30, those are on the same side. So really, I can add those together, and I can pretend that we have something like this. And I can actually take it one step further, and I'm going to subtract the 50 minus the 10, because they're going in the opposite directions. So really, my total force is going to be right here. It's going to be 40. So the 20 and the 30 back here get added together, and then the 50 and the 10 would get subtracted, and we get 40. So that 40 is the total force. That is right here, and I'm going to put that as 40. And the last step, I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and 40 divided by 2 is 20 meters per second squared for our acceleration. And that is the answer to the first one. Let's take a look at a different problem. So for this one, we have a car that is driving. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to identify what we know. We have 100 kilograms, 10 meters per second, 20 meters per second, 2 seconds. I'm trying to find what force. So F equals question mark. So kilograms, that is a mass. Meters per second is a velocity, and so both of those are meters per second. So both of those would be a velocity. And then we have a time of 2 seconds. So I'm going to start with right here, my question mark, is I'm trying to find the force. So I have an equation to find the force. I'm trying to find F. I know M is 100, but I don't know what A is. So far, I have used the F, and I have used the M. And what I'm left with are 2 V's and a T, and I'm trying to find this A. So I'm going to use another equation. I'm going to use, let me erase that. I'm going to use VF equals VI plus AT. And so I'm trying to find my A. I know it's 2 seconds. I need to identify which one is my final and which one's my initial. The car starts at 10, so that's my initial. It speeds up to 20, so that is my final. And now I can solve this. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. And I'm going to get 10 equals 2A. And I divide both sides by 2. And I get A equals 5. So now that I know A equals 5, I can substitute that value right into here for our A. And when we multiply 100 times 5, we get 500 newtons. And that is our force. Let's do one last problem. The last problem is going to have Moops drive this time. Moops is driving a 200 kilogram car. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull out this information. 2 meters per second. We have 4 seconds. 24 meters. How much force? So that is my question mark. So kilograms, once again, is a mass. Meters per second is our velocity. Seconds is, of course, a time. And 24 meters is a distance. So just like the last problem, I'm trying to find the force. So I'm going to use an equation, F equals ma, for our force. And I know the m is 200, but I don't have a. So just like last time, I'm going to think I've already used that force. I've used the m, but I haven't touched the v, the t, or the x. So I'm going to use the v, t, and the x to find a. And so the equation is x equals vit plus 1/2 at squared. Plugging my numbers in, I have 24 equals 2 times 4 plus 1/2 a times 4 squared. We get 24 equals 8 plus 1/2 a times 16. 24 is 8 plus, I'm going to do half of 16. Half of 16 is 8, and I still have the a. I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. I get 16 equals 8a. I can divide both sides by 2. And I get a equals 8 meters per second squared. So I'm going to take that number, that is my a, and I'm going to plug it in up here to my a. And when I do that, I multiply 200 times 8. I get 16 with 2 zeros. And that is my answer. Hope you understood this a little bit better. If you have any questions, please come in and get additional help. And have a great day.